Hey guys, welcome to today's video. I'm KZakEasyDub, and today we are back with another Minecraft tutorial, and this one will be about how to make a melon and pumpkin farm. These are interchangeable. If you don't want melons, you can just use pumpkins. If you don't want pumpkins, you can use melons, but this one is going to be for both. And before I start making this, I will say I'm making a very small version of this farm, and I recommend you expand it a couple times. And you can, the more you expand it, the more melons and pumpkins you will get. Although this one does produce a good amount, so you shouldn't have to expand it too many times. And without further ado, let's get right into the tutorial. Alright, the first thing we need to make is the collection system, which will be under the farm itself. So, to do this, you're going to plot out how big you want the farm. For me, I'm going 5 by 8. This will give us enough pumpkins to have, enough rows to have about 2 rows of each plant. So I'm just going to mark this out, and this is a very small version of the farm, very compact. I would recommend maybe doing it over 1 and maybe extending it out 1 or 2. Now, under this layer, we need to make the torches for the powered rails. So I'm just going to place these under here like this against this block. This will power the block above it, and we will have power for our powered rails. Just cover this over with blocks, and now we have our platform for our collection system. Now, I'm going to start from this end. Just place one powered rail here. Place a block up against this one. Shift, place it here. And then just place a torch there. That'll power this rail. Now, fill this out with regular rails. To here, place a powered rail here. Now, those torches we placed underneath, you might want to mark where they are, or you can just dig under here and see. I put mine in the middle, which is the easiest place to put them. So that means on the middle of all these, just place a powered rail. What you can also do is, before you place this block, when you place the block on top, just place the powered rail there first, or right on top of it, right after you cover it. That way you'll remember which row you placed it on. And as you can see, if I were to place this minecart here, it'll have enough power to go right across here, but it stops here. Now the reason we're having it stop here is we actually need to switch this out. So I'm going to place a block here temporarily and place a hopper. We just need one. Shift to place the powered rail on top of here. Place a block there. Now we're going to make a system that allows us to say when there's an item in this hopper, which would be when the minecart has picked something up, then don't power this, so the minecart will stop here, wait until it's delivered all of its supplies, then keep going. So I'm gonna pop a redstone comparator here, then a redstone repeater. Don't tick that at all. Make sure it's not. Then what we're gonna do is we need to make this go to a torch. So if we were to place something in here, you can see it powers off this redstone torch. So see this? Hopper, comparator, reading the hopper, repeater, redstone torch. Now, we need to make this redstone torch power this block. And I'm just going to go with some redstone like this. That won't work. And like this. So, comparator, repeater, redstone torch, 4 redstone dust, just like this. And now you can see we're gonna place down our minecart so it's not powered just for a second. Place, let's get some items. So I'm just gonna get some wooden planks here, place it in it, and if I push this along, it's gonna go, and as soon as it hits this, it's gonna see there's stuff in this hopper. Redstone signal, turns it off, it'll stop here until it delivers all its supplies. Obviously, we have a chest here, which we're going to place there now. I'm just going to place a double chest, because that should be enough storage for this farm. You can see items are going into here, and once they all go into this chest, and this hopper is empty, this will turn off, turning this back on, powering this rail. This is not my design. I got this from a tutorial I watched on a different type of redstone. And you can see all of our oak planks are in here, nothing in the hopper. It'll keep going around. So that is good. That's what we want. We've got it. And we don't need these planks, so I'm just going to take them out of there. And now, onto the second part of this farm, which is the actual, well, farm itself. So, how to do this? We are going to use moss. Well, I'm going to use moss. You probably just want to use dirt, but I'm going to use moss here, all along the top of this. For now, this is temporary, so we will be taking some of these blocks out. And now that we have this, what we want to do is we want to make sure that the farmland we're going to put in here is, well, wet farmland, so it will grow faster. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some slabs, put it along the edge here on both sides. So because this is 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, water wets things 4 blocks away from the source, so this one will wet these 4, and this one will wet these 4. So that's good. But obviously, we're not going to want, well, our water to escape this. So I'm just gonna place a little perimeter blocks. I recommend making this farm underground because that way you don't have this big monstrosity sitting in the middle of your thing. You could put it in the cool house, but it is nice. I do have a tendency to put mine underground. Just fill these slabs with water buckets and we're good to go. Now, you want to cover this and make about a 2-high wall around the outside. And this is because we don't want any of the melons and pumpkins escaping. So as you can see, just placing on top of here, and then temporary block, top, and you can see I'm skipping the corners because they're not important. And there you see we have our little farm inside this little container here. And I'm going to go ahead and fill the sides in. That way the melon pumpkins don't escape anywhere else. Make sure to leave this part open, otherwise the redstone will not get through and it will not work, which is very bad. Fill this area in. Make sure that you keep this area open so you can access the chest. You can close this up if you want to, but I'm going to leave it open so we can see the redstone. And I'm going to clear the weather here. Alright. As you can see, I've gone all the way around and filled this in. And I've skipped this redstone torch because we need this here. And this redstone bit because we don't want to block it off. And I've left this open so we can access our chest and see our beautiful, beautiful redstone, and also keep an eye on what's going on in here. Now, the farm itself. So, I am going to replace these with dirt. Now, I will warn you, when you do this, the water will run out. So, just be warned, you can take away the water and do this first, which might be a better idea than what I just did. So, now I'm gonna hoe these, and what's gonna happen is, because the melon pumpkins will just grow on any block, or I believe it's moss or like dirt or podzol or any type of kind of like dirt block, they'll grow anyway. So what I'm doing here is we've blocked off the sides, and there's only one feasible block for them to grow on, and it's these blocks right here. Now, because this is all good, we're going, because this is all watered, we're gonna replace these in the middle with grass as well, and this on the end. Again, the water will run out here. You might have that interfere with your redstone. So, yeah, this is what might happen. So, you'll lose some stuff. I would definitely recommend, now that I think about it, waiting to place the water. But no worries. Just very simple. This is why we kept it open, so you can still see and make sure that's all working still. So yeah, I got mine working again. Now let's get back into it. We will need our melon pumpkin seeds, obviously, because the next part is hoe the grass. You can't hoe moss. Alright, so now what we see here is these, they can't grow on other melons or pumpkins, so they can only grow here. These two, this side can only grow here, this side can only grow here, this, they can only grow here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split it. I'm going to go pumpkins here, melons here. You can do all pumpkin, you can do all melon, you can do more melon than pumpkin, because melons give you the slices which you then have to craft into the full block, which can end up in there being less melons than pumpkins. But I'm just gonna go half and half. So here we go. Let's go pumpkins on this side. So we've got row pumpkin seeds there, melons here. The weird thing is you're not gonna be able to tell the difference what you planted until they actually grow, but that's okay. I'm gonna grab some bone meal here. Forgot to put that in my inventory, and I'm just gonna bone meal these right up. I would recommend doing this. You bone meal to the full, and that way you will not have to wait as long for your melons and pumpkins to grow. However, I'm gonna leave one on the end of each one, because that will give us the ability to test our redstone, which you'll see what I mean in a minute. So I'm just gonna go ahead, bone meal these seeds up, and now that you can see the seed, you still can't tell the difference. I don't know why they did this. They've got this is melon, this is pumpkin, melon, pumpkin, melon, pumpkin. See the difference? No. Yeah. Oh, this one, I forgot. I'm gonna replace that. And now comes the fun part. And this is placing all the observers and all the pistons. Now, what this is gonna do is, you can see this is a fully grown pumpkin stalk. Now, when the pumpkin grows, the stalk will bend over, causing a block change. So, if I were to place an observer looking down on this thing, you can see we've got the redstone bit coming out here. We've got, going to free cam here and show you, observer looking down on this. So when this bends over, the observer, like that. As you can see, we've already got melons and pumpkins, which is why I wanted you to bone meal these. They grow so much faster, but you can see the difference of how this is bent over and this is not. The observer will pick that up. So it's okay that they're melon pumpkins here. It'll actually give us a chance to test it. What we're going to do now is place a block on top of this observer. So when this observer sees it, it'll power this block. Now, you want to place, I like to crouch, place a block, temporary block right next to it, place the piston like that, so it's gonna push down. This might take some like finagling and trying to get it right, but yeah, just try to do your best. And now the one thing we need here is we're gonna need some, I have lost a pumpkin. We're gonna need some redstone because this block will be powered, but then it won't power this one. So redstone here, when this is powered, powers this, powers the piston. Great. So now I'm going to place the observers down on all of these. So just second, this is the easiest way, looking down right on top of it. And I have lost another pumpkin. Guess I must have stepped on it. You gotta be careful that if you step on it, they will, or jump on it, they will break. So you might have to replace some of them. Now, while I'm doing this, I'm just gonna say, you might be wondering why, well, pumpkin, I guess makes sense, you can make pumpkin pie, but why melon? Melon doesn't seem like a great food source, although it is a pretty funny block. Melons and pumpkins are really, really good for trading with villagers, the farmer villagers. And my last tutorial was a villager breeder, so I thought I would do this one because this farm is one of the best ways that I get stuff to trade with my villagers. So this is kind of relevant, I guess, to that last video. You know, you've got your villager breeder with the villagers. Now you've got your pumpkins and melons to sell to them. So now just place any solid block, although I would recommend stone. I don't know if you can use dirt, so I would say cobblestone or regular stone works very well. And now I need to place all of the pistons. And this is going to be, you can see it's a little bit tricky to get it exactly right. And this pumpkin's now in the way, so I'm just going to break him. Alright, we've got that. This is going to be a little bit awkward, but, you know, this is how you have to place things sometimes. There. And this side. Alright. 1, 2, this is a 5 long. There we go. Alright, I'm gonna have to break some blocks on the side, as you see, in order to actually place these pistons. And I've got free cam, so I'm just gonna go down, make sure, okay, observers all facing down, pistons all facing down. Yep. Alright, looks good, looks good. Now, I'm gonna place all the redstone dust on top of here. And so right now, as you can see, all this redstone dust is connected. So if I were to grow a melon, or a melon were to grow, or a pumpkin, the observer would power one of these blocks, which would then power the redstone, which would then actually power all of this redstone. So all the pistons would go at once. This is, yes, I will say that might not be like the most neat, but it still works because it's still going to just push that one down and then another one will be able to grow. because the pistons are only down for 1 tick, which is or 1 second when the observer clicks them off. The melons are in darkness right now, so you could make this 9 long and place some torches so that it is not completely dark in here, or you can just knock a block or 2 out on the side here and place a torch here. This will make the melons grow faster. And there we go. A pumpkin is already grown. As you can see, the item is there. And if we wait a little bit, wait for it, we should see, oh, there we go again. We should see, ah, I understand. It broke. This torch must have came off when the water flew, or was flowing, so as you can see, the pumpkin is now gone. Now that we fixed that torch there, and the pumpkin is in our chest. So very efficient, and you can see these seeds are still growing, the ones that I left, and that was why they were ticking off, because the seeds were growing. And as you saw, all the pistons went down, but it didn't really matter for the farm. It still worked. Everything was good. And I'm going to place a torch here, and I'm going to cover this up. And I think I'll do it on the other side as well, just to keep consistent lighting. So I would recommend doing this because the lighting is important. It helps the melons grow. The melons and the pumpkins, they grow faster in better light levels. So yeah, that is good to do. Alright, and that is it for this tutorial. I have been AFKing here for about an hour, and as you can see, we have lots of melons and pumpkins coming in. And if you were to extend this farm, say 2-3 times as big, you would have a great source of melons and pumpkins for all your needs. And that is actually it for this tutorial. If you found this one helpful, which I really hope you did, please leave me a comment saying so. And as always, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you want to see more of this content, please consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.